Hi friends, log on to my website fastbeam.com and talk to me on the forums. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
Hi guys and welcome to another vlog, and I am driving the Mahindra Marazzo. Now look at this. This is actually the real key with the buttons, and this is the dummy key which the buttons don't work. It's just a key. I could have just given a simple key. Anyways, here we go. Let me open the hood right away. As you can see, it's a cab forward design, compact engine bay, and it is a diesel motor. I don't think a 2.2 liter unit can fit in over here, but there's this instruction. This guy is saying that you should not shoot a gun or something like that. Okay, which basically don't spray water, high pressure water jet in the engine compartment. So U321, the code name written over here. Yeah, that was loud. Anyways, as you can see from the front, it kind of looks like a Xylo, capture from certain angles. Actually a jazzed up Honda Jazz, Jazz on steroids, and an Innova and a Logi from certain angles. So it's a mix of a lot of cars. But honestly, if you remove this section, well, you might not realize it's a Mahindra. It gets the typical Mahindra grille along with the logo, of course, but if they had got rid of this, this would have appeared as an all new car with a different kind of design. So there's a projector headlight over here. The light is a little small at the front, the headlight that is. There's a DRL ring over here. This is the fog lamp, and the overall design seems nice. It feels well packaged. These 17-inch wheels also look nice. You can see the nuts are hidden because of the hubcap. And this car gets this nice line running around over there, and there's this chrome line which keeps rising, gives it a very bold and masculine appearance. However, because of the rising line over here, it looks kind of empty, and that's not the only chrome you're going to see, because there's a chrome line running over there as well. Meanwhile, there's a chrome line at the rear too. These lights might look similar to the Logi. They are a touch big for my liking on the Marazzo, and Marazzo badging here, M8 written over there. And overall design is actually nice by Mahindra standards. Chrome door handles as well. So yes, this is a nice looking car, but there are certain issues with the quality. You can see this is properly fit here, right? And over here, yeah, it is jutting out, so not the best in terms of quality. In fact, I've never kept windows open in any car I have reviewed, but this car's window has to be opened because the air conditioning is not working. Shockingly, this car had done only 100 kilometers when we got it here at Motorbeam. Here you can see exposed bits over there with screws too, so not the best in terms of quality. Let me quickly open the boot for you right away. So here we are. Now you can put two bags over here. It's not the biggest of boots. Obviously, it gets a light here, but the reason is because it's a 7-seater, and you can push this ahead to increase the boot carrying capacity, and you can push this as well, so you can actually put in a cycle. So that's a nice touch. Right now, let me just bring the seats up. Ouch, it's so heavy and a lot of effort as well. Meanwhile, the spare wheel has been placed here below. There it is, and it is an alloy. Wow, that's nice. You can see the rear suspension there as well. So let's quickly get into the last row of seats. So it gets sun blinds over here. Windows are large enough as well, and the door pockets are also large here in the rear seat, but they're not very accessible. That's a big problem, and I'll tell you why they aren't. Because when you sit over here and close the door, they get hidden, something which is a problem with the Scorpio as well. And you can see, try to take stuff, so you have to actually put your hand here and remove bottles. That's bad. Scooped out seat back with magazine holders over here, and this is a 7-seater. It also comes in an 8-seater, so no captain seats in that. The seats are comfortable. There's an armrest for both the rows, and it also gets isofix child seats. Comfortable seat, good amount of headroom, good amount of legroom, good amount of knee room, and under thigh support is also very good in this car. There's a USB charging socket over here. And well, that's about it in the second row. Let's quickly get into the last row, which means getting out of the car, pressing this button to tumble it, and here we get in. You can see this car's seat is decent enough. Yeah, under thigh support is very poor in the last row, but there is good amount of headroom. There's a white light over here as well, and guess what? The seats actually feel comfortable. Adjustable headrest. It's actually a 6-seater because there is no adjustable headrest for the center person over here. Might as well have given an armrest, but there's good amount of legroom. So you know what you can do? You can move this seat ahead and behind to alter the legroom. Now let me put it into center position, and with that position as well, you can see there's actually a decent amount of legroom for someone who is shorter than 6 feet. There's a cup holder over here. There's a holder for papers over here. Window area isn't that large, and you get a handle over here as well. And the AC vent placement is very unique. It's sideways, and the AC control is over there. But because the air conditioning doesn't work, I can't tell you much about it. But yeah, it says direct and diffuse. 4 settings here for the air conditioning. There's a light over here. So yeah, there's not much to talk about in the second and third row of this car. The main action obviously lies in the front row. So let's quickly get in over there. Now as a 7-seater, it is quite spacious, but misses out on certain features like keyless entry and push button start. Shockingly, because cars half the price are offering it. Door pockets are large enough. These are the controls for the rear view mirror. By the way, they are big enough, and there's a lot of space between the body and the mirror. Meanwhile, these are the power window controls, and the front seats are quite adjustable. There is an illuminated keyhole over here, and this seems to be the fuse box, but you can keep stuff here. So let me hide the keys. What are you doing hiding the keys? You know you need to use the key to turn on the car. Oh yeah, I realize it doesn't have a push button start. So this is the button for eco mode. This is the headlight leveler. Chrome treatment here on the AC vent. Stop making noise. It has voice assist, so basically if you don't belt up, it will remind you to belt up and stuff like that. It gets this unique aircraft style handbrake lever, which is difficult to operate and unnecessary. It is inspired from mini cars because they also get something similar. Now the armrests at the front are an issue because with the armrest down, it's a little difficult to access this cubby hole over here, but you can remove the bottle holders over here, and it's a decent size compartment. You can close it as well and keep your phone on top of it. Twin cup holders over here. There's space over here as well with a rubber sort of mat, but difficult to access. There is a 12-volt charging socket over here, 2 USB ports along with an aux over here, but again very difficult to access. The glove box is cooled but not the biggest, and there is a storage space over here. I have no understanding as to why they have given a storage space over here, because just imagine if I keep my phone here, yeah, I'm not able to see it. I'm driving, I'm searching, where's my phone, where's my phone. Okay, stop overreacting, it's over here. Yeah, so that's not the best placement for a phone. So yeah, that's not the best storage space in this car. Anyways, the gear lever is slightly big, and these are the lights which will blink if someone's sitting on the seat over here and not belted up, and this is for airbag turning off. If someone's not sitting, it automatically turn off. This is the hazard light which automatically turns on when you open the hood of this car. As you can see, the dashboard design is nice. There's this nice piano black touch over here, unnecessary elements over here. Most people who sat in the car with me are like, why haven't you cleaned it from that side? Now the A-pillar really doesn't obstruct visibility, and the rear windscreen is large enough which gives a good view of what's behind, and there's adjustment for lumbar support as well for the front seats. Again, a very nice touch. The pedal area is massive. The spacing between the pedals is also a lot. There's a dead pedal as well, so comfortable over there. And as you can see, this is a car which takes the aircon controls from the XUV, the steering mounted audio controls from the Tivoli, and let me turn on this car. And guess what? The best thing about this vehicle is the fact that in order to turn it on, look at this, okay? That's all. It's like one touch on. It's similar to contactless turning on off motorcycles. I really love this feature, but I have to turn off the car and turn it on once again, so I can show you how this thing swipes and the Marazzo enters the frame. Very nice touch. Press the eco mode, it blinks over here, says eco mode is on, which basically reduces the power to 100 horsepower. And there's an eco sense mode over here which will tell you how fuel efficiently you are driving, the speed, gear selection, acceleration and idling. Again, very nice touch, and you can share it on Facebook, Twitter as well as WhatsApp too. So now the car is on. Now this multi-information display has a lot to show. So there's trip selection, there are twin trip meters, there's drive information, turn by turn navigation, warning, as well as service reminder. So it will also show you drive duration along with the average speed information and the best part I like about this car is that it also remembers your birthday, wedding anniversaries and vehicle anniversary. That's so cool. So you just have to set the date over there and it'll remind you of that as well. Okay, please, you're not a smartphone, you are a car. Don't try to behave like a smartphone. But the nice touch is when your steering is not pointing straight, it will tell you that where exactly is your steering position and how you need to center the steering to get into the straight ahead position. Very nice touch. However, I don't like this purple treatment here in the instrument cluster. It doesn't look that great on a car which looks this macho. There is a conversation mirror over here. I need to remove the plastic on this to actually use it. And there is a light over here. There's a sunglass holder over here. And there is no mirror, but there is a ticket holder sort of thing over here. Now, being a Mahindra, this visor is expandable like that. And same is the case over here, but you do get a mirror along with a light which automatically turns on. Nice touch for sure. Now let's get into this infotainment system. It is a 7-inch infotainment system. It gets navigation, it gets Android Auto connectivity, but shockingly there is no Apple CarPlay. Now the best thing about this car, which I really like, is of course the reverse parking camera. Now I get into the reverse parking camera. First and foremost, it is very legible. It gets adaptive guidelines, and there are these modes here as well, which will help you parallel park and get into a parking, because it will actually guide you and show you spots where you need to reverse and how you need to turn the car.
Align the arc line with parking slot line.
Which line should I align? It says green and blue.
In reverse.
It's teaching me how to reverse park. I believe if someone's bought an MPV which costs rupees 15 lakhs, that person should have a faint idea of how to reverse actually. But these are the controls for the headlights and the fog lights. These are the controls for the wiper. And it puts out 3 sprays, actually 4 sprays, and the wiper does do a great job. Unfortunately, it misses out on an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, so it could have done with more features. Now let's quickly get into the system. Not the most fluid to use. Come on. Okay, need to cancel that to come here. My bad. Into media, get into media again, get into Bluetooth, and let's play a song. As you can see, audio quality is good enough. However, I would have appreciated a knob for increasing or decreasing the volume of the audio system. Now you can control the rear AC vents from over here, and it gets steering adjust, which is only for the height, not for the rake. Anyways, as you can see, the interior is very practical. Good amount of storage bins. Fit finish is the best I've seen in any Mahindra car till date. Quality levels also good. Yeah, there are a bit of hard plastics over here, and there's this white treatment over here, so it's like contrast as well. But certain ergonomic issues should have been sorted in this car. But overall, yes, it is a well-designed car with a lot of thinking which has gone into it. But how is it to drive? Let's get going. Now before I get going, let me tell you a few things. It doesn't get a dedicated button to lock or unlock the doors. Why? And when you engage the reverse camera, it also gets reverse parking sensors, which gives you accuracy by telling you in centimeters how close or far the object is behind you. Now these are fake leather seats. Well, they look fine to me. And now it's time to get going. So the steering is very light at low speeds, easy to park. Turning radius is also less at 5.25 meters. Revving the motor, it revs till 3000 RPM. And we are off. Little bit of wheel spin. It only redlines at around 4300 RPM, which is very less. Now this motor isn't very punchy in outright acceleration. Goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 15.29 seconds as per the VBox test we did at Motorbeam, and it has to get into 4 to cross 100 kilometers per hour. I think that drops at least a second. Yeah, vehicle overspeed, because it meets all the regulations of 2020. So yeah, it gets the speed buzzer as well. Now acceleration kind of lags post 100 kilometers per hour, especially out on the highway. You really have to downshift to get going quickly. That is one big issue with this car, because it doesn't feel punchy, and the reason for that is that it weighs 400 kgs more than the Maruti Ertiga because of the platform, which is a body on frame. Hazard lights turn because I braked a bit hard, and the brakes are good because it gets all-wheel discs. However, I mean, the pedal feels a bit spongy for my liking. This is a 1.5 liter diesel engine, and it comes from the same family as the KUV's diesel engine, which is a 1.23 cylinder. This is a 1.5 4-cylinder known as the D15. Produces 121 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. Low end lag is very well contained. It feels punchy in the mid-range, has nothing in the top end, and overall performance is positive as long as you don't give it the beans. So I would like to say that, you know, part throttle response is brilliant in this car, and the gearbox is also slick shifting, but the throws are a little long and the clutch is very light, so positive over there. It's a 6-speed unit and works flawlessly well, but Mahindra should have offered an automatic. I don't know why they did not do that. That's surprising considering the market is shifting towards automatic cars. Now, one good thing about this engine is the refinement. It doesn't feel like a diesel at all. At idle you can barely hear anything inside the cabin. That's the level of refinement and smoothness of this engine. Job well done, Mahindra, really well done. Very refined motor. There's an eco mode over here, which once activated reduces power to 100 horsepower, and yeah, it feels even more sluggish then, but mileage is good. ARI rated at 17.3 kilometers per liter. In the real world you should expect somewhere around 12 to 13 kilometers per liter, which is very good. Now this is a body on frame car, a ladder frame, but there is something which is very unique about the Marazzo. It is a front wheel drive. Usually body on frame cars are rear wheel drive, so Mahindra has gone ahead and even filed a patent for this, because the whole architecture is very different and unique to this car. Mahindra says that because of the front wheel drive, it gives it the ease of car-like manners. Meanwhile, the body on frame means that it's going to be rugged, and honestly it doesn't feel like a car to drive because there's a ton of body roll in this vehicle, but it is by far the best Mahindra car in terms of ride and handling balance. It just rides beautifully. In fact, it absorbs almost everything in its stride. Such good is the ride of this car. I mean, throw anything at it, it will just decimate it. But there's a problem because of a supremely long suspension travel at the rear, 245 mm to be precise. This car feels bouncy at the rear, which will get resolved if you have a lot of passengers in the car. But if you're driving it solo or with a few passengers, then the bouncy feel at the rear is very inherent, something which is there with almost every Mahindra car, and so is the body roll, and so is the massive understeer when you push it near the limits. Okay, now time for a joke. The Marazzo is based after a shark, but it doesn't get a shark fin antenna. This is the third time I've laughed like that in this video. Anyways, the handling isn't that great because there's a lot of body roll, and overall, as far as a body on frame car goes, this is actually lighter by body on frame standards, but yes, it is heavy because of the platform. But the good thing is the packaging is brilliant, and you don't feel the girth of the body on frame as such, even when getting in or out of the car. That's again a very positive about the Marazzo. The suspension has been tweaked well. The steering is just brilliant. It weighs up brilliantly well at high speed. Low speed, it's so light, you can really twirl it hard and fast, and at high speeds it does weigh up and gives feedback too. So yes, this is a excellent car from Mahindra in that regard, and that's because Mahindra has actually engineered this at the Mahindra Technical Center in North America, which is known as MANA, Mahindra Automotive North America, whatever. So should you buy a Mahindra Marazzo? Well, Mahindra has been very clever in the positioning of this car. It is positioned bang between the Ertiga and the Innova, and is priced at rupees 11.88 lakhs for the base variant. Meanwhile, the top of the line variant, which I'm driving today, is priced at 16.67 lakhs. And all these prices are obviously on road Mumbai. So there are 7 variants on offer, 4 for the 7-seater and 3 for the 8-seater. The 8-seater isn't available in the top spec M8 trim. There are the trims of M2, M4, M6 and M8. BMW, there's a M2 and an M4. What are you doing?
If anybody's gonna take that bitch down, it's gonna be me.
The Marazzo is by far the best Mahindra car yet. Yes, it could have been better in certain areas, could have done with more features, and in terms of pricing, yeah, it does seem value for money. Drives well, handling is not the best, it's an MPV after all. But just think about this, Mahindra's SUV, that is the XUV 500, is underpinned by a monocoque chassis. This is an MPV, it is underpinned by a ladder frame chassis. No words. And honestly, there's one big fat reason to buy this one. If you're on a budget, don't want the Ertiga because it's too small, and do not want to buy the Innova because you can't afford one, then go and buy the Marazzo. You won't be disappointed. It fits the gap perfectly. Mahindra has done a great job. But why make an MPV when the whole market is shifting away from it? It's so freaking hot. Careful, your air conditioning isn't working. Why Mahindra cars redline at such low numbers, I don't understand. Anyways, guys, the Marazzo, well, great effort, could have been better. No option. If you can't afford an Innova, go for this one. The market doesn't have many vehicles at this price point, and yes, it is very spacious as well. So if you like this video, you know what you have to do, give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. I know I'm getting so excited because I can stop the car, breathe in some fresh air. Bye bye.